Good morning children. Welcome back to this beautiful platform of Anand Prakash Educational Academy. I am Chanda Bansal, Director of Anand Prakash Educational Academy, and for the last 13 years we have been giving coaching for JEE, NEET, board exams, home exams, Olympiads, NTSC and whatnot, with all wonderful results. So children, how this wonderful result was possible? That was because under our guidelines, under our mentorship, children had been very obedient, very disciplined. They followed each and every rules and regulations of the academy. They followed all the program which was prepared for them. They gave all the tests. And as of now, as per the present scenario, what is required to become successful, what is required to get a very wonderful result? That is to watch all the video lectures that we have been uploading. Second is to attend all the live classes. In the video lectures, we are just giving a small gist of a topic which will help you in clearing your concept. When you come for the live lectures with us, we are going into all the details which will help you to know even all the depth of that topic, including the way you have to write answers for the board exam to get more marks. Then third point will be to attend the physical classes, and fourth is to give all the examinations, that is to give all the tests which are scheduled by us, which are prepared by us. And to tell you, we have the experience of 30 years in dealing with this coaching, and so many students have come out with so many students have been doing very well in their different fields, like they have been working in very big industries, they are working in very good hospitals. In one word, I can say that they are just successful in their lives. So what is all this term success? So success is a journey, and daily you need to prepare yourself mentally that you have to step up this ladder today, and tomorrow you have to step up another part. Like that, daily just passing one step, climbing one step, that itself will help you in reaching the destiny. So let us come back to the previous lecture, to the continuation of the previous lecture. That is, we have done about how many types of the reactions are there. We have done about the redox reaction, and redox reaction is very important part. You need to know about the oxidation, reduction in terms of electrons, in terms of oxygen, in terms of hydrogen and all that. So I have explained you one example, gave you homework. If you have any doubts, you can always ask your doubts in the comment section or mail us. And in the live classes, we have discussed almost 10 to 12 questions based on redox itself. So you are able to have a grip on this topic, because this is a topic which is to be understood in depth. Rest all, they are just superficial, easy to understand things, just to know the reaction. After this types of reactions, the next part comes, that is about corrosion. Corrosion, and if it is for iron, it will be called as rusting. Now you must have noticed one thing: if any iron article, it is kept exposed to moist air, what happens? Some coating develops, some rust is developed. So what is all this phenomena of corrosion? What is this rusting? It is just, in layman's language, you can say it is eating away of the metal. Means destruction of the metal when the metal comes in contact with moist air, that is called as corrosion. So this, and if this phenomena takes place for iron, it is called as rusting. For corrosion to take place, there are two things which are required. They are air, and second thing is moisture. Either of the two things is absent, then corrosion does not take place. So that you can understand with the experiment that I am going to explain you, that how this air is needed and how this moisture is needed, and How rusting or corrosion does not take place when any of these factors is missing? So let us take up an experiment of an iron nail. So in this experiment you will use three test tubes, and in these three test tubes you have to use the iron nail. First test tube will be that one in which you are providing both the things. That means you are providing moisture as well as air. So here there is presence of water, the test tube is open, and here there is presence of iron nail. This test tube, I will label it as 1, this is 2, and this one is 3. So as in this case you will find that air as well as moisture, the shaded part is nothing but it is water. Both the things are given to this iron nail, and so this iron nail gets rusted after few days. If second experiment is done in which we will devoid one factor, let us say it is moisture is taken but air is not there. So how this will happen? Like you can take water, heat that water so that all the dissolved air, dissolved oxygen, it comes out of this test tube, and this test tube is sealed with all the precautions, and prior itself this iron nail is there. So with all precautions, this second test tube, the experiment in second test tube will be carried out with all due precautions. So what is done? Moisture is there, this water is there, and water will be heated. On heating, whatever dissolved air is there, the dissolved air will come out of the tube. The tube is now sealed, and before sealing itself the iron nail is dropped down. This test tube you keep it for as many days as you want, but the iron nail will not get rusted. The reason being it doesn't have air. In the another case, will give air but moisture will not be there. So this test tube is open, that means all air is there, and here some pieces of anhydrous calcium chloride will be kept. Anhydrous calcium chloride, because calcium chloride has got the hygroscopic properties, it absorbs moisture. So what this will do, it will absorb all the moisture from the tube, and as it absorbs the moisture from the tube, here you will keep the iron nail, and immediately on its upper surface you will add some amount of wax, because wax or oil will devoid it from air. Okay? So anhydrous calcium chloride will be there. So whatever air is there, from that air already some amount of moisture will be absorbed by this anhydrous calcium chloride. So in this case air is there but moisture is not there. So that means, and here moreover wax will be covered, so it will not allow the other part to enter inside that test tube. So when this happens, again here moisture was there, air was not there, here air is there, moisture is not there. So you will find that rusting or corrosion will not take place. Okay? So this is how the experiment takes place, and you will find that for corrosion air is needed as well as moisture is needed. So in this case also this wax can be placed so that water is covered by a lining of wax, that can be there. Here also to seal it, wax can be there. So when these three experiments are carried out, it helps us to understand that there are two factors which are very, very important for corrosion, and that is, which two factors are there? It is air as well as moisture. Okay? So unless and until these two factors will be there, corrosion will not take place. So when you have to write the reaction for corrosion, To write the reaction for corrosion, it is iron which will combine with oxygen as well as water, and then it forms Fe2O3 dot XH2O. This will be called as rust. Means there will be X number of water molecules present over there. So how can you prevent this phenomenon of corrosion? One is you can lubricate, that is oiling or lubricating. Second phenomena after lubrication, that is painting, greasing, that itself will come over here, greasing also. If it is covered with some paint, again that article will not come in contact with moisture or air. Third is galvanization, and galvanization means that article which is put in molten zinc, that zinc will prevent it from getting corroded. So these are various things like lubrication can be done, painting can be done, galvanization can be done. There can be coating of tin also. So fourth factor can be, there can be a tin coating over the surface of the metal. So all these will prevent corrosion and hence it will save the iron article. Okay. So what is very important? How moisture is needed, how air is needed, and how that corrosion takes place, what is the formula for that rust, and how corrosion can be prevented. Okay. So I do hope that you have understood this completely about the corrosion. So keep on practicing all the chemical reactions that we have done in this chapter, number of combination, displacement reactions, decomposition reactions, redox reactions. Make these chemical reactions your friend, make the chemical formulas your friend, and then you will develop proper grip on the subject and the subject will become easy for you. So keep on watching our video lectures, like the channel, subscribe the channel, press the bell icon so that we are there with you with more and more of video lectures to help you out solve your problems. So till then, thank you so much.